Nobody wants to be known as that loyal person. You can count on me. I'm always there. I got your back. You got my back. Like, I'm your friend. We're going to ride or die. I got you. The issue now is this. There are some people who are in relationships, and I'm not just talking about intimate relationships. It can be platonic. It can be even family members that are actually in bondage, and what they're doing, they're thinking that because this person was there for me from the very beginning, because this person helped you out, because this person did A, B, and C, that you owe it to them, that even when they're stepping on your feet, even when they're using you as dirt bag, as rag, and taking you through left, right, and center, and abusing you, and doing whatever they want you to, because you feel as if you owe them. Most of the time we don't say anything. Most of the time, even when they're outsiders who looks at from the outside, to look at our relationships and see how our interactions are with certain people, certain groups, certain organizations, whatsoever, and they're able to see it from an unbiased lens. They're able to see it as outsiders looking in, right? Sometimes we look at them, we say, oh, you're not for me, or you're trying to go against my relationship, or you're hating, or you're envious, whatever. But the truth of the matter is, sometimes what we call loyalty is actually blockage. It is bondage, I should say, and it's blocking what God wants to do in your life. So today, I want us to talk about loyalty to a fault. Right here, Moments of Effort, we're talking about love, life, and God. Now, I need you to understand that loyalty is a good thing. Nobody wants a traitor in their group. Nobody wants somebody who's not dependable, and at every pressure you break, and you're not there, but you're always looking for someone to be there for you, but you yourself, you don't even reciprocate. Nobody wants to do that. And God loves a loyal person. But the issue is that, as great as it is, it can also turn against you in a way, right? Because listen, God honors commitment. He honors faithfulness. He honors loyalty. But when loyalty overrides wisdom, when loyalty overrides boundaries, when it overrides you being obedient to God, it becomes a stronghold. Now, how many people are bound by that? Oh, I have to be loyal to my people. We've been through so much as a race. We've been through so much as a gender. We've been through so much as a family. We've been through so much as friends. And I get it. I understand those people were there. I understand the struggles. I understand all of those things. But when it overrides, like I said, boundaries, when it overrides wisdom, when it overrides your obedience to God, it turns into a stronghold. How many people are in relationships right now that are literally holding them bondage, and we're calling it loyalty? Even family members. Oh, because you owe us. Do you know how much? Thank you so much for your sacrifice. Thank you so much for your prayers. Thank you for everything. But I cannot be dying inside because I'm supposed to be loyal. When am I going to be done paying my dues? Because there are some people who are just like that. There are some people who are like that. Oh, you owe me. You this. If you really check it, you have overpaid 10 times everything that you so-called owe them. Listen, so if you're in whatever relationship, and sometimes it leaves you drained, it leaves you empty, it leaves you feeling worthless, it leaves you questioning every single thing, you gotta check it out. And like I said, I'm not just talking about intimate relationships, I'm talking about in friendship. There's some family members, I love you, by blood we're connected, right? But I don't gotta be your friend. I don't have to, I will love you from afar. But if you are killing me, even though we're family members, I am going to have to cut you up. And when you need help and I'm able to, I will be there. But if I'm not going to kill myself. And I know I'm going to hear some thoughts in the comment section, which is great. I love hearing thoughts. I love hearing, different angles of this conversation. So definitely hit me up in the comment section. But let me show you something. Here are some signs that, you're in like loyalty, that you're dealing with loyalty to a fault. Here are some signs. Number one, you stay in toxic friendships out of guilt. It's bad. This friendship, this connection, this communication, whatever it is bad. But because of guilt, oh my goodness. It's because of me they lost their job. It was because of me the husband left. It was because of me the wife left. I was watching a movie one of these days, and it was a Korean movie, a Korean drama. And the young lady, her older brother went to visit her. And when he was going to visit her, he by the grace of God, he was like there was somebody who was going there to go and molest her, and he was able to interrupt that scene and all that stuff, and was able to save the sister. But she felt so guilty because of he saved her. His career was on the line because at the end of what happened was that the person who went to go molest the sister ended up dying after they had the altercation. On the he was battered, really bad, and went to the hospital and didn't make it. So ended up having losing a whole bunch of stuff. People saying all manners, and it was a drama, but things like this happen in real life. So the sister, for a whole year, was feeling guilty, was depressed, couldn't do anything, said she owed all to her brother and so forth. And I get it. I understand that. Now, of course, the brother was kind, didn't abuse that, told the sister, I forgive you, I don't owe, like, there's no grudge whatsoever. But how many people who are in this life for real, who would say, do you know what I did for you? I risked my career. I ruined my life just to save yours. You owe me everything. Every good thing that comes to you, I'm supposed to be the benefactor of this, and this. You're supposed to do you know how many people, they just literally use that as a weapon? They use that as chains and shackles to hold you down. Do you know how many people do that? But because you're on that side, like, this person saved me, you don't see it that way. Loyalty to your fault. Another side is you keep silence to protect people who harm others. That is not love. Because you want to show that you are loyal to your husband, your child is coming to you, say, Mama, this man so every night, and they play me bed, and they touch me, and they do this, and they do that day. This part, this we uncle, this we brother, you brother, and they do this, and they do this. But because you want to be loyal to a family name, you want to be loyal to your reputation, you want to be loyal, seen as a loyal wife, the faithful wife, you are harming people in the midst of all of this. That's not love. That's not loyalty. You are loyal to a fault, and it's a problem. How many homes do we have where kids are being molested by so-called fathers, by brothers, by aunties, by uncles, and the kid will go and complain. The kid will go and say something, but because we want to be looked at as the loyal wife, the loyal husband, the loyal this and that, the faithful this and this, even though at times those people, listen, I always say this, and I know sometimes it can come off somehow, but I know there's no way there is a mother in a house. Something is happening to your child. Your child is coming to say something, and you don't sense something is off. There's absolutely no way. But because of blind loyalty, we turn, and the person we're supposed to protect is who we are hurting in the process, all because we want to protect this man. Blind loyalty. You sacrifice your growth to avoid betraying someone's trust. How many of you are doing that? How many of you are doing that? I heard of a story of how a young man worked so hard, was able to save money, and they got a scholarship and everything was done for a beautiful school, Ivy League school. Everything was great and all of that stuff. And then the same amount that the person had, something happened in their family and they were looking for the same amount. And the person was like, what am I going to do? Like, this is my family. I'm supposed to be loyal to my family, but I feel selfish because I'm choosing to my growth. I'm choosing my success. I'm choosing my future over them. They've done everything for me. They put me into school. They're the ones who carried me this far. They're the reason why I am who I am today, blah, 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 blah. So the person was fighting. What do I do? Should I take this little money that I have saved up to go for and put into my future? Should I do it to go and help this family? Should I do it? What would you do if it was you? What would you do? And the person decided, you know what? Even if I take this money, I help. Another situation is going to come. What am I going to do? But if I can take this, what I have, I'll be able to help anyhow I can. The small thing I go put. But if I'm able to take this and go and sow into my future, sow into my growth, what's going to come out of it? I'm able to help you way more than I would have if it's just this. You understand? And hey, you don't care about this family. You're so selfish. Your uncle was dying and you didn't do anything. You had the amount. You decided to travel. So they want you to they want you to stay stagnant. They don't want you to grow. They don't want you to improve. They don't want you to be they don't want you to loyalty to a fault. Here's another sign. You feel responsible for everyone's emotions. Oh, I don't know what they will say. This like loyalty to a fault. Here's another sign. You allow manipulation in the name of love or loyalty. There's this other true life story that was made into a movie. This young lady, she was in love with this man who promised her love, promised her marriage and everything else, right? And her mother was in her ears. You need to get married. You're 30 something years old now. I need grandkids, blah, 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 blah. And here's this man who's promised her everything that her mother wanted to have. She'd had one child, one pregnancy abortion, second pregnancy aborted, third, fourth, fifth, sixth pregnancy aborted, everything. Then she got pregnant again for the seventh time. The man said, if you love me, if I am this and this and this, you will go and this. Manipulated her feelings, her emotions, and all these stuff. And guess what happened? The young lady went to that abortion table and never came back. Never came back. All her friends around her were telling her, yo, this man is not for you. Leave this man. I've suffered. I need to show him that I'm there for him. I need to show him that when he needs help, I can be there, and this and this and this and that. And that was how her life was taken. Was cut short. Loyalty to a fault. Listen, it is so important for you to know this. Loyalty without discernment can lead to disobedience. Yes. Yes. Let me give you some examples. Remember Saul and his men. I'm talking about King Saul. They were loyal to a disobedient king, but it cost them their lives. It did. When they went to that battle, remember when all his sons died and the people there died as well? Because they were following a king who had left God a long time ago, but they wanted to be seen as that loyal person. I was there when you were down. You have to be discerned with the people you're walking with. I'm not saying abandon people during their lows and just go there when they're highs. No, but you have to walk with discernment. Is this path that I'm going with, along with these people, is it going to lead to my success? Is it going to lead to a better me, a better version of me, or is it going to be my downfall? Samson, oh my goodness. He was so loyal to Delilah. Even when she repeatedly betrayed him, she told him her plans, yet he continued. And that was how a wonderful man, a great man that literally was walking. He was like the savior of the people, that was how his life was cut short. How about Judas, who claimed loyalty to Jesus, but was actually loyal to his own greed? And because of that, look, your loyalty, first of all, belongs to God. That's where it should be. That's your first place. That's your first place, not in people, not in things. No, it should be to God. And there's anybody who contradicts the ways of God, who contradicts the plans of God for your life, I don't care how long you've known this person. Listen, I always say this to people. I say, it's great to have your childhood friends to also be part of your adulthood, friends and so forth. But there are times the people who you knew 20, 25 years ago, there are times that chapter needs to close. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for being there. Thank you for everything. And it's not that they're bad people whatsoever, but we have to be discerned to know when that season of that friendship, that season of that relationship needs to come to an end. There's some of you are literally walking around with dead logs. You're dragging dead logs around, all in the name of loyalty. Not knowing that it is that person, because of the presence of that person, is why your destiny helpers are literally passing you by, pew, 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 every single day. I know you're loyal. You want to be loyal. You want to be faithful. You want to be committed. You want to be all these things. But please be discerned. Walk with discernment. Look at your friendship. One thing that I usually do is, and I've always done this, but I didn't realize that's what I was doing at that time until recently. In my friendship circle, there's a time where, we're all this, like this, we're all together all the time and all this stuff. But then every about 6 months to 1 year, I start doing this evaluation. I look, how, with me being with this person, how am I around them? How do I act around them? How do I behave? What is happening around my life when I'm around these people, that I talk to these people? Like, how am I? And if there are times that I'm like, oh no, this person is making me to compromise. This person is making me to cause harm to others, all because of them, blah, blah, blah. Then guess what? I'm going to love you, but there's going to be some distance. I love you though. And some of those people, it had to be cut off completely. And of course, there are ways, there are boundaries you should put in place, of course. And I spoke about this in a video where I was talking about boundaries between friendship and so forth. So definitely check it out. I'll put the link in the description and you'll see the link that pops up here. So after this video, check it out where you put boundaries in place when it comes to friendship and knowing when to end certain seasons. Look, it's not every person that needs to go to the next season with you. No. Everybody does not need to go to the next season with you. There's some people you have to know these type of people who are there for a season. You need to know when their season is coming to an end and when to end it respectfully, honorably. There's some people who are there with you for a lifetime. And you need to know how to transition, because even though they're with you for a lifetime, there are different transitions that takes place. And you need to know how to navigate. How do we approach this friendship in this season? How do we approach this relationship in this season? Because they change, they shift. If there's anybody who's holding you back, oh, don't leave the hood. If you leave the hood, that means you're not loyal to the people. That means you switched up. When some people make money and they start buying different clothes and buying different cars and wearing different houses and stuff, and they want to relocate, people are just like, look at you. Just because you've made money, you forgot the hood, you're not loyal to this. I'm just like, if you have the money, will you stay in this place where every single time your hand pop? Would you? It's because you don't have the money yet. That's why you're saying, but I have the money. I can still be loyal, but still be discerned and know that this is not, because if I stay in this community, number one, everybody will make me their God. It's either they'll make me their God or they'll make me the number one enemy. And we know that these things happen. We know these things. So don't allow loyalty to be the one that holds you down, to pull you down. And a lot of times, I believe that people are not really concerned about, oh, I want to be loyal. No, they're worried about people's opinions. What will people say? What would they think? How would I look like? That is what they're concerned about. It's not about, oh, let me be faithful. No. That's the least of their concerns. It's mostly, what will people say? How will my friends think if I now start behaving? If I now start saying, no, I don't drink this anymore. I'm sorry. I'm now a born again Christian. I don't go to parties anymore. I don't smoke. I don't do this anymore. I'm sorry. But how would they feel? Oh, you don't change. You don't change. Yes, indeed, I've changed. I'm a new creation. I'm born again. So I have to change. But the more we keep holding on to these things because we want to be loyal, we're never going to rise up. There's some friendships you have right now, some relationships you're in right now, even with family. There's some family members, listen, we're only related by blood. I love you. When you need help and I'm able, I can. But you do not need to be 24/7 kicking. Because every time you go around them, you can physically sense and feel the weighing down. It's like they're like this, This is what healthy loyalty looks like. Number one, it aligns with truth, not just feelings. It aligns with truth, not just feelings. It has boundaries and accountability. Did you hear that? It has boundaries and accountability. It can say no and still feel love. There are some of you, because I'm so low, I can never say no. Even though they will call you, can you do this A, B, and C? And you can't do it, but because you want to be that loyal friend, you move everything around. You're the one that's suffering, and then you even complaining while you're being present and helping them. In your heart, you're murmuring, you're doing all this stuff. Healthy loyalty, I can say no to you. Hey, can you help me out? I would love to, but right now I can't. I'm sorry. And the person shouldn't feel offended because I'm not always available. Because I said no. Start saying that now. Start applying. Start practicing. When somebody asks you to do something, if you know you cannot do it and you're not able to, there's sometimes you're willing, but you're not available to help. And then sometimes, you're available, but you're not willing. Don't go putting yourself and then cussing in your head and doing all this stuff and then trying to fit. No, if you can just say no. And if they're offended, it's their business. They have an issue. Listen, healthy loyalty looks like this. It knows when to release people and not just rescue them. There's some people, because you love them so much, because you are indeed truly loyal to me, you got to do this. Too many times have I pulled you out. Too many times have I rescued you. Too many times. But what you are doing right now is you want me to come and be in that same mess as you, and then you'll be satisfied. I have tried. I'm doing my part all the time. I've tried. So it knows when to do this. I've released you. And not always be the one to come and rescue. No, no, no. Because sometimes loyalty means letting go so God can work. Letting go. In the house, all the accusations that has been placed, that has been put on this person, deep in your heart of heart that thing is true. Let go. Release that person. Call the police. You take them to rehab. Take them to a hospital. Take them to... Let go so God can do what he needs to do. Because sometimes in our loyalty, what we're doing, we are standing in the way of God that he's unable to do anything. But if we can learn to discern, to let go, do you know how many homes will be saved? How many friendships will be saved? How many people will be saved? You yourself will be saved. Look, you can love someone deeply and still walk away in obedience. You can be loyal to who they are becoming without being loyal to the dysfunction. Yes, can I say that again? You can be loyal to who the person is becoming without being loyal to dysfunction. Because what we're doing is whenever we're doing that we think is loyalty, what we're doing is we're empowering that dysfunction. We're empowering that habit. We're empowering that behavior. When sometimes you got to, like how my mom would say, lucky eye. And say, I love you too much to be here and watch this happen. And sometimes what I love about people is that when they really, really love you, they'll say, you know what? This relationship is too valuable. I cannot be doing this. And I want to be in this relationship. And I want to be in this friendship. Okay? You can stay faithful to God's voice even if it costs you people. There are some people who God is warning you. Be careful how you walk around with this person. He's not saying completely cut them off, but he's saying be careful. Be careful. But what we do, that's my childhood friend. That's my cousin. That's my brother. This and this and this. No. Because the right kind of loyalty, what it does is it sets you free. It doesn't hold you hostage. It does not. So, please, if you're here, I want you to go ahead and take the time to evaluate your life. Evaluate the people that you have been loyal to, the people who you've called your friends for so long, the organizations, the groups, because sometimes even there are organizations, of course, that you've been with, you've been faithful with, and you're just like, I don't know if I this and this, that you got to do this. Let go. So I want to hear from you. Has loyalty ever kept you in something too long? Has it? I love to hear your stories. What are some advice you have? What is your experience? What has happened? Please let me in the comment section. I'm sure that somebody is going to be blessed. Someone's going to be touched. Somebody's going to learn a lesson or two. Because like I always say, we do not need to experience every single thing in order for us to learn lessons from. So share your stories so that we can learn from you. And of course, I did make a video about that by experience. So definitely check it out. It's in the description. Plus, it's also going to pop up in the comments, not comments, but up in the screen as well. So definitely check that out. And of course, remember this, right? Your first loyalty is to the one who never changes. That's where your loyalty should be. It should lie. I'm not saying don't be faithful. Be faithful, be committed, be all of that stuff. But if it leads you away from the ways of God, then it's not for you. You got a problem that you need to let go. Okay? So this video did bless you. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section where you're watching from. I'd like to know, like, where are we broadcasting from? Like, where are we? Are we in Russia? Are we in Germany? Are we in SL? Are we in Nigeria? Are we here in the States? Like, where are you? Let me know in the comment section. Until next time, don't forget to check out these videos. Now, see you right here next time. Moments of Effort, about love, life, and God.